perhaps drawing somewhat from the Michael Cohen hearings and the questioning of people like Ro Khanna and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the House has announced that they are going to be talking to virtually everyone connected to Donald Trump in a significant political and economic fashion. People high up in the Trump organization, lawyers, some who have already been convicted or pled guilty to crimes. This new round of investigations, what was your reaction to that being announced?
Well, this is the Judiciary Committee, and it's the Judiciary Committee under Jerry Nadler, who represents part of Manhattan, that would pursue impeachment, though I don't expect to see Donald Trump tried in the Senate for impeachment, at least certainly not on what we know now. It's a very comprehensive list. Some of these people are going to fight are asserting either executive privilege or attorney-client privilege in the case of Sherry Dillon, Trump's lawyer for his eyes wide open blind trust. And there was only one name missing from the 81 people that I thought should be there, and that's Joseph Wexelbaum, who lives in Santa Monica. He is the international cocaine trafficker who Donald was in business with for years. And I've said in the past, and I'll say again now, there is no logical explanation for what Donald did as favors and other dealings with Joseph Wexelbaum unless he was in the cocaine trafficking business with Joe. And Donald, if you're listening, if you think I just slandered you, sue me.
That is a strong statement. Donald, please don't sue me. I don't have a lawyer and I can't afford the retainer. So, you know, it's interesting. You talk about his connection to some really shady figures. And for a long time, I believe you and I have talked about his past ties to the Mafia and things like that. It certainly seemed like it's not just historic connections, but that the more we learn about, especially coming from Michael Cohen, it seems like the Trump organization has adapted some sort of mob ways of running things, the constant threats and the secrecy and the hidden orders and things like that. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely, it's a fair assessment. And Donald's dealings are not limited just to Mafia-connected people in the New York construction business. If that was the case, you could say, well, they had a hand over this guy. But while other developers went to the FBI and the Justice Department almost 40 years ago and said, you got to get these guys out of our pockets, Donald did not. Mm-hmm. And when there was a concrete strike in New York and the Teamsters and the Concrete Workers Union were both under the thumb of the Genovese and Gambino crime families, every construction project in New York that used concrete, whether you were just patching your driveway or it was something bigger, stopped, except Trump Tower. And Donald, throughout his life, has dealt with not just traditional mafia in New York, but Russian mobsters, Georgian, as in the country, Georgia mobsters, Kazakh mobsters, Irish mobsters, all sorts of people like that. And he operates as the third generation head of a white-collar crime family. Let's check the family history. His grandfather, Friedrich, flees the German draft in 1885 when he turned 16, as a lot of young men did, comes to America, lies to get his citizenship, and runs whorehouses. He was a pimp in Washington State and the Yukon Territory. His father, Fred, had a business partner, Willie Tomasello, who was a front for the Genovese and Gambino crime families. And these are not people who go out and break your legs or murder people. These are people who cheat and steal from you by refusing to pay for things and using the court process.
That sounds like his MO there.
And there's in addition to the RICO statutes federally, John, there's a New York State RICO law which could be applied. So even if Trump somehow could stop the Southern District of New York, Letitia James, the new Attorney General of New York, who's promised to be vigilant and aggressive dealing with Trump, can make a case.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.